Okay, I had a few things to take care of, and I just want to try and make at least a minimum lesson today. It should be like a half hour or something. So we go around the circle of cage fifths here, and we have this detour for the long patterns. And the long patterns, as I was explaining, are useful when we can't get to the seventh, okay, in the E shape. So, but we can get to that seventh if we're up one fret. So again, it's the critical one fret difference, you know. So now this particular drawing, it has some options here, and in today's chart that I made, I have basically a roadmap that gives us all of those options, but right now this is just one of these options. And that option is either a fifth interval or a caged interval. A caged interval shares notes. A fifth interval goes up one string or over to a no share on that same string. So a fifth interval between C and G is, and okay, a caged interval is in between C and A is, see, we share the G there. That's a caged interval. So coming around here with the long pattern here now, okay, we have a caged interval there. It says caged interval A to AG, okay? So we have A goes to A and G there. The G shape, 6, 7 root. So we can go to A to AG, and then with AG we'd go to a fifth interval. The fifth of G is D. We'd go back to D there. From D, we can go to A because the fifth of D is A. So we go G, D to A there. Here we go A to AG to D to A there. So those are we go back to a fifth interval here, but we have the interval of AG. Sorry, it's A to AG. So here's the A, here's the AG, and then GDA, like that. So this diagram got a little complicated, you know, or we could skip the whole thing and just go to the E from the A. So we get to the next chart here, is 287. We got circle of string shape fifths plus double long short string shape forming the CAG interval shift. You know, it's a shift from fifths to caged. So here we go the A to the AG to D to A the same, but this diagram shows you can also just go from A to E. Okay, so this A goes back to A here all the way. It's a triple A, like the batteries, triple A, the big ones. You know, a pattern substitution there. So this kind of flow chart got a little complicated, and it, believe it or not, it didn't cover all cases. So I've got a way to cover all cases. That's the most important thing. So zooming out on this a little bit, just to look at the chart here. We have 287 long, extra long, and double short, extra long. Now we use the D word, the double word. That makes everything double. So not only we've covered all of the string shapes, then we have how they connect, and now we want to double them. Well, actually, the roadmap that's the key to the whole thing is actually a triple string shape diagram. So you got the string shape in the middle, and you can go cage to the left or right, you know, so that's why there's 3 of them. But you're still on the one cage. You're always on the one string shape. Where are you going to go from there? So say you're on A. Where are you going to go from there? Kind of thing. So, you know, according to this diagram, like I said, we're on the A here. We could go into an AG, which doesn't show the root there, but So that's kind of a double there. Or you can go down 5, 6 to 5, 4, 3. So we have 3 there. We have C, A, and G. So we call it a triple, but we're still on that A. Panic not. Now, of course, we have the major diatonic. I'm doing everything in diatonics right now until the last 2 charts. I've done all of the chords, major, minor. We've done pentatonic, sevenths, major sevenths, minor seventh, dominant seventh, half diminished, pentatonic, half diminished, triad, major triad, minor triads. Done them all. This is just major diatonic, which means there's all of the string notes there. So you can see how complicated this gets. How do you know, I want to have a playable pattern stack here. Okay, well, E, C, G, D to this long pattern's playable. Now we have the long pattern on top, goes to 6, 7 root. Well, you know that's going to loop around to D again because G goes to D. So we got 6, 7 root there. You know, that's how you can play it. Up here, so here's 7 root 2 and 2, 3, 4. So we got E, D here. See how it's getting complicated because we're looking at specific cases here. When you look at a specific case, you know, you lose the flexibility, the versatility. Here we have another case where we're just doing the regular pattern substitution here. So it's just 5, 6, 7 root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we go into the regular short patterns into 5, 6, 7. So no matter where you start this, as long as you insert the tuning warp, which is the third, so you have to move the pattern to the right wherever the B string is. If you call this the B string, it has to be moved to the right there, one fret. If you call this the B string, if you're playing this one on the B string, you'd move this part to the right 1 fret. Okay, so wherever the B string would, you know, so if you start here on a let's say 3, 4, 5, string 1, string 2, string 3, string 4, this part has to be warped over then. So this part would be warped over in this particular case. Okay, we'd have to warp that over. And we kind of have to adjust it so that R is right over the 6 there, you know, something like that. So that's how you'd play that. Starting from C, you'd go 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So right above that 6 is root. It's supposed to be root. Okay, but guess what? It didn't fall right over. When we warped over this root 2, 3 here, it didn't go right over the 6. Okay, so let's try that again. Let's try that again. See, I warped it over wrong because I'm using Irfan View. The root has to go over the dash. So it's actually in between. See, this is you know why these diagrams are valuable when they're done right. Okay, I'm just fixing one on the fly here. This is how it actually should be played. Then we'll not miss the C there, this C, which is root. So we start here for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 root 2, 3, 4. Okay, then we go 5, 6, 7, then root 2, 3. You see how the root fell in between the 5, 6? I didn't miss it that time. So that's reading it off the fretboard right there. We want to have diagrams like that at our disposal when we want to do that. When we really want to play it right off. But otherwise, the pattern remains in P4 tuning right there. P4 tuning. Right here we have our 2 pattern stacks. We have our long pattern stack and our short pattern stack. The only thing the long pattern stack doesn't have is 4, 5, 6, 7, but we have that now with the new chart that I made. It's called the pattern roadmap. It has everything, triples in everything. That's short to long, etc.